All right, guys, Aaron Baker here. I'm with Sam. How long have you been involved in the occupation?
I first became involved early in October. It wasn't at the very beginning, at the outset, but it was before there was an occupation. I attended the second General Assembly, which was like October 8th, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Sam, I know the Occupy Eugene's been through a lot now. This is, what location is this? What number?
Let's see, we started at the park blocks, we moved to Alden Baker Park, moved to the Mill Race, so this is location number 4 for us, since October 15th, so in a half a month.
Okay, the fourth location. I know when you were moved from downtown to Alden Baker Park, there was a big ordeal with the city to get the camping ban lifted, and after that was done, you then moved to the Mill Race at University of Oregon, and now you've moved here in another spot that, from my knowledge, is another non-camping area. How are you guys going to resolve that problem?
Hey, I don't see it as a problem, to be perfectly frank. What I see is that we are a group of people who have peaceably assembled to redress our government for grievances. As I understand it, the First Amendment protects that right. So I don't feel that we need a permit to be any place that we are. As far as the city lifting the camping ban in Alden Baker Park, that was something that the city council did on their own initiative because they didn't want to arrest people for breaking what they saw for what they saw as a violation of the law. I don't think we're camping, although we have tents and although it has the trappings of camping. I wouldn't call this camping. I would call it a protest, and I would say that it's an expression of our First Amendment rights to freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, and freedom to redress our government for grievances.
Okay. Are you at all afraid of the city cracking down? I'm seeing sidewalks pretty much constructed. I'm seeing actual construction labor happening. Are you afraid of the city coming in and saying no to the camping again?
My sense is that the city's not going to do that. I don't think that they have the resources to do it, and I believe that that here in Eugene, that the city government recognizes the importance of freedom of speech and freedom of assembly, and I think that they're going to find a way to make this possible. So I'm not terribly worried about it. Ultimately, if the police come, we will tell them that we belong here and that we're expressing our First Amendment rights. We're expressing our freedom of speech and freedom of assembly, and then there'll be a confrontation. I hope that that's not the way it goes, but if there is a confrontation, I think we're up to it.
Okay, Sam, thank you for your insight here. How'd the march today go? I noticed at the Chase Bank there was a broken window. Do you know anything about that?
I'm not aware of any windows being broken. If something like that happened, I'm sure that it was somebody acting autonomously. We have a set of principles that we've agreed to as a group called the St. Paul Principles, which basically say that individuals acting autonomously are not something that we're going to approve of or denounce in any public fashion, that as a group we make our decisions by consensus, and that as a group we agree to be nonviolent, but that as a group we don't either affirm or denounce the individual actions of any individual people. It makes it a lot easier for us to be able to work together that way with people who have different backgrounds, different belief systems, and different sets of ideologies. Not to condone anything necessarily, but also just to allow everyone to express themselves in whatever way they see fit. Another part of those principles is that there should be time and space separations between peaceful protests and non-peaceful protests. Should somebody autonomously decide to protest in a way that's not peaceful, it's not really appropriate to do that within the context of a peaceful march or demonstration. But again, I don't know anything about a window being broken, and I don't know when it was broken. It may have been well before we marched, or at another time.
I would say it was definitely before you guys marched today. It was already patched. The bank looked like they had put duct tape over it and all that. So
that could have been any sort of act, politically motivated or otherwise. It may have just been somebody breaking a window who felt like breaking a window.
All right, thank you very much.
Sure.
All right, take care.
This is what democracy looks like.